I thought you were only programmed to kill
This is comprised of 10.78% of DNA. These parameters are acceptable.
Everything is a Genji if you try hard enough. Welcome back, fellow masters, to Gacha Hell. Today's special guest is one of our most wholesome and bloodthirsty servants turned into an Avenger. Wait. Starting off with her base stats, she's got one of the single highest attack stats in the game, along with a decent HP stat. I think that's our first hint to her priority in battle. She has good star generating on account of having 2 quick cards, along with a quick MP that if chained together for QQQ, will net you around 40 to 44 crit stars. That's pretty good on an Avenger, which normally struggles to get stars for themselves if you can get it to happen. Her NP gain is also very high at a respectable 0.81. That's 4/5 of Jack's NP gain, and if you know Jack, you know her NP gain is absolutely bonkers. So she's decent at generating stars and has really good NP gain. Quite rare attributes to be good at both of these for an Avenger. And she's gonna need that because as an Avenger, her star absorption is really bad on its own naturally. So you're gonna want a ton of crit stars so she can crit consecutively. She's got a double quick and art stack as well. I can only imagine how busted she gets once the mighty chain comes into play. Her high hit counts on quick and extra attack really help with generating NP and stars. Not to mention as an Avenger, she generates NP extra fast when being hit, which is perfect for solo runs. Her first skill applies a massive 200% special attack buff against Genji enemies, which is an extremely niche set of servants, so it doesn't come into play that much. But if they are Genji, they're pretty much dead. It increases her crit strength by a whopping 100%, and gives her a flat NP charge of 30%. And it also decreases the crit star gather rate of her own allies by 100%, so she can try to eat up more of those juicy crit stars. And it's all on a 6-turn cooldown. This skill has multiple uses, as either being timed for a flat NP charge, or a time to go wild when you have at least 2 Ushi cards and want to unleash your crits. Or you can use it when the stars shine bright for an NP Brave Chain with Ushi to deal severe damage. Decreasing the star gather rate of all allies isn't as good as a star absorb, but for caster and other similar supports with low star absorb, it helps most of those stars go to our angry Genji killer. Her second skill though is her bread and butter for her entire playstyle, and easily the most important for solo runs. It grants herself Guts status to revive with 3000 HP when procted, and lasts for 3 turns, and it can stack with other Guts. It increases her own death resistance by 100%, and it grants her an on-Guts self-activate buff, known as Thirst for Vengeance for 10 turns. And it's on a 4-turn cooldown. The value of this skill cannot be understated, as not only is it a 4-turn Guts, but it gives you a decent chunk to revive with as well. But more importantly, that Thirst for Vengeance buff lasts for 10 turns, and each stack of it increases your NP damage by 25%, up to 4 maximum stacks, for 100% extra NP damage. And you're going to need this because at NP 1, she doesn't deal as much damage as you would like, but that's most 5-star servants. That is the skill that makes Avenger Ushi what she is. She gets stronger the more she dies, and it's what makes her a great soloer for boss fights. Her third skill grants her evasion for 2 attacks that last for 3 turns. It also increases her attack by 30% for 3 turns. And inflicts 500 damage of curse to all enemies for 3 turns. This is a skill that you want to spam to help keep Ushi alive in the fight longer, or save it if you know an enemy NP is coming up to dodge. The 30% attack boost is nice as well, but you mainly want to use this to increase your survivability. The Curse Affliction does give her some synergy to another servant, however, I'll talk about that later. When it comes to her passives, Avenger EX increases her NP gain by 22% when damaged, but it also decreases debuff resistance for your team, except herself, by 12%, but that's most Avengers. Oblivion Correction increases her crit strength by 6%, and Self-Restoration Magical Energy D grants her 3% NP charge every turn for herself, which is very, very nice to have. Her Noble Phantasm is extremely powerful. First off, it's a 10-hit single target quick MP, so it will generate a good amount of stars and a decent bit of NP gain. But most importantly, it removes buffs before hitting. Yes, she has the same NP properties that made Abigail so good and a challenge quest destroyer. And as I mentioned before, every Thirst for Vengeance buff she has will increase the power of her NP by 25%, up to 100% extra damage. There is absolutely no way for enemies to avoid the full assault of this NP, and it heavily weakens them, removing all their buffs, both offensive and defensive. It also inflicts 1000 curse damage, up to 5000 curse damage, for 5 turns depending on overcharge. Hey, if you made it this far, leave a comment typing Genji in all caps and as many exclamations as you want, along with anything else you wish to say. Also, consider liking and subscribing so I can continue to make more of these. When it comes to this angry Genji slaying Avenger, one thing is made clear from her kit. She wants to play by herself, most importantly, so you can have her as your main DPS at the start, or a last stand servant at the end. But regardless, Avenger Ushi's power cannot be overstated with how much value she will bring to your team. She's a fantastic soloer. Just by being an Avenger, she gives a leg up against the rare but annoying ruler enemies. But while Avenger Ushi does prefer to play alone, she can still be used in a team as well, so let's go over some possible team comps. First off, there is a double or single Scotty, depending if you have one of your own. This helps let you tear through bosses very quickly, being able to fire off her NP so fast, as well as dealing high, quick crit damage if you can. And thanks to her own guts, she won't really care if the other supports die and she's still kicking. Which is actually a very valid playstyle, with her focusing everything on Ushi, while using supports that can be replaced by other members of your team if they die and Ushi is still alive. However, if you do want to try to keep everyone alive, Merlin is one of your best go-tos, as he gives Avenger Ushi everything she would want: MP charge, 1-turn crit damage, and healing. Waver is also a good choice for a generalist, giving her NP charge, attack, defense, and delaying the enemy NP, as well as better crit damage. Hans is also a good budget pick as well, when it comes to his NP, and his upgraded skill that gives NP charge and crit stars. And his first skill, applying increased crit damage, definitely helps as well. Osaka Behime, if you give her an NP gain CE to spam her NP, is also very good with helping in her survivability and increasing overall crit damage and quick effectiveness. Very good stuff. Another support you can use for challenge quests is Van Gogh, as her NP and skills gives her star absorption and massive crit damage and stars. Though, don't expect Van Gogh to survive too long, as that curse damage does stack. But fun to run in a double Van Gogh team, I bet. Asclepius is actually a good servant to use for challenge quests, due to him providing guts and other buffs to her. Irisfield can fill that void as well when it comes to more guts, surprisingly. If you have her, that is. She is a Year 1 event servant after all. Some other nice free-to-play options for free quests battling with her includes Cursed Arm Hassan to help with the amount of stars. I would not recommend if you are a highly leveled master, but hey, if you are just starting out, you don't have the best options. Good advice for some newer players. When it comes to CEs that are the best for her, Black Grail is the best if you want to deal as much NP damage as possible. And any CEs that do a combination of quick effectiveness and crit damage is good as well. The same if it's quick, NP gain, NP damage, and starting NP charge. Any mix of those will do you just fine. 2 CEs in particular I would recommend is the Princess Pilgrimage CE from the Oku event, if you have it limit broken, and Traces of Christmas Past. Golden Sumo is always a very viable option. When it comes to command codes, I would recommend Miss Majin to one of your quick cards to increase its crit damage and odds of critting, Mistress of the Heavens for more crit damage to your buster, the Nun with a Bodavista's Merciful Gaze to help shred ruler enemies to pieces, Good Wife Wise Fox if you are going the solo route with her, and if that is the case, you will also want command codes that provide healing like Maiden of Orleans and Hero of the Endowed. Wedge of the Heavens because it's pretty much a flat attack buff to whatever card you pick since nearly everything is weak to Emma Elish. And other crit damage command codes are also very good to have. Ornament of Victory is also good for increasing the chances of increasing with your selected card. There is also another set of command codes I would recommend, but that's only if you have a certain CE, which I may just do a video of in the future. When it comes to Avenger Ushi, it's clear that she wants to play alone to solo, so the first big question on your mind by now is most likely the following. What NP level do I need to make this dream possible? From what I have seen, you most likely are good with NP2 or 3. NP2 and Grailing being a good sweet spot. But if your courts are limited, NP1 will do more than fine. You may not be able to solo some stuff, but hey, with a team, you can still get the job done. Gotta save as much courts as you can for this year, am I right? When it comes to skill priority, when it comes to boss fights, I would say you want to go with your second, then third, then first skill, as that low cooldown on her guts is really key to making her work. A pen skill 1 or 2 can be good for her, but it's really up to you if you value that extra bit of NP charge more than higher extra attack damage. Honestly, either or is a fine choice, but for me, as a generalist, I would say go with the NP charge. Avenger Ushi's Bond CE grants her 30% NP damage and a Guts. This is actually a great CE to have on her, as it can buy you more time to finish off the enemy with her stackable Guts and higher NP damage. How would I rate Avenger Ushi Wakamaru aka Taira? Is she a must summon? I would not say entirely she is a must summon for meta, but she is a very powerful servant and can greatly increase the power of your account if you don't have an Avenger or a great soloer already. If you don't have an Avenger at all, then I would absolutely recommend summoning for her, because you always want to have at least one of every class, especially one that helps you deal with those rare but annoying rulers that resist nearly everything. But if you already have a powerful Avenger or soloer, is she worth dumping your court piles into? Not entirely. At that point, she's a servant more to have for fun than anything. I would say she is up there with Melt and King Asan as one of the most powerful soloers in the game. But if you love Ushi Wakamaru or Taira in the story, then yes, she absolutely will not disappoint you as becoming a powerful DPS and soloer. Overall, I would say she gets a B+ from me. She's not game-changing, but she works very well and is extremely flexible. If she only had a star bomb tied to one of her skills, she would be a lot better, as she does need a ton of crit stars to work more effectively. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I've been trying to improve myself when it comes to writing these reviews and giving the best I can, so it always means a lot to me to see people actually listen to what someone who isn't a hyper whale like me has to say. Maybe consider leaving a like and a sub if you want to help my confidence with these reviews. I stream here on YouTube constantly, and I'm trying to become a partner as of this video. A big thank you to my Ko-fi supporters on screen, as they help make these videos possible in the first place. And hey, if you really like what you see, consider joining my group Discord to be a part of the Kuro Gaming Empire. And if you really want to go above and beyond, maybe consider becoming one of my Ko-fi tier supporters. Thanks so much for watching till the end of the video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Shout out to Plushie Mistress for allowing me to use their footage of Avenger Ushi from their videos in order to show off how great she is. As of writing this recording, I could not find anyone that also was in my support list for demonstrating Ushi Avenger. So thank you once again, Plushie Mistress, and I will leave a link down below where you can find them, and you should totally sub to them as well. Oh, and make sure to give your Ushi head pats. Bye!